Like you said.
All right, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Yahweh Shamar Al Thah B'Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. All right. This is ISUPK Canada Scripture Breakdown class. So I'll get 1 moment. Salakia. All right. Let me get the sign-in links posted.
He's on mute.
Constant. Is there an extra sword? So there's no extra sword. I got my phone. Talk to him. Yeah. Talk to him.
All right. So tonight we're going to be teaching on Christmas, all right, and how Christmas is satanic. Are you looking for a Bible?
Yeah, I want to get a sword for him.
There's one right there. Yeah, it'll say King James. Not that one. The black one. Yeah, there you go. All right. So we're going to be talking about Christmas, the pagan holiday or the white man's holiday, Christmas. All right. It is not for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. It is it's basically a holiday for the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? They use it as a tool to destroy us. When our people get caught up in that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like the scripture says, every time we sin against our God, the oppressor takes us over, and our God is not with us. You know what I'm saying? So if they can get us to celebrate these holidays, you know what I'm saying, then we're not going to be at peace with our God, and he's just going to fight against us. All right. And Christmas has such a strong hold on, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian minds that people get, when it comes to that time of the year, people just get so excited. They get in the Christmas spirit. You know what I'm saying? They go and put themselves in debt. You know what I mean? Just to, keep up with this holiday. It's more stressful than, fun. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not anything that the oppressor gives to our people. We can pretend that it's all fun and games, but really it's destroying us, spiritually and physically. All right. So like I said, this topic of this class is Christmas is satanic. So we're going to start with our precepts on, pagan holidays. So Trooper, can you get me Jeremiah 10:1? Babakasha. All right, Jeremiah 10:1.
A long time.
When you got that, you go ahead.
Jeremiah 10:1.
Quick. Got it right here for you, right quick.
I got you. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 5.
10:1.
Oh, 10:1? Okay. Slakia. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
All right, so first and foremost, Jeremiah, he said he's speaking to who?
The house of Israel.
The house of Israel. So this is a letter to the Israelites. All right, that's something that needs to be understood. This is specifically for our people. Like if your neighbor gets a letter in the mail, it says, your neighbor's name, you're not going to go ahead and open it. Most High is not concerned, with, the other nations and what they do. Right now, he's more concerned about his people. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2. Thus says the Lord, learn not.
What?
Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
And the signs of heaven, we got zodiac signs today. All right. A lot of heathens are into that kind of stuff. They get caught up in that kind of stuff. You got your zodiac signs, and they get dismayed, man. Dismayed means to be thrown off, to be taken by. You know what I'm saying? It's so bad, these zodiac signs that, people won't get into a relationship with other people based on those signs. Like they'll say, "Oh, I can't be with this person because he's a whatever." I don't even know what they're like, a Taurus or whatever they're called. You know what I mean? Like they go all out with these things, and they're dismayed. All right, they're dismayed at the signs of heaven. Keep reading.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
So now the customs of the nations. All right, our customs, the Israelite customs, they're not vain. You know, the scripture says these laws will be righteousness for us. It's not vain. But the customs of the other nations, because they don't keep the commandments. All right, they don't keep the commandments. So those things are vain. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is about heathen customs, like Christmas, which we're going to get into, you know, they try to, everything they try to do is for their God. You know, sacrifices and ceremonies and rituals is all for their God. It's all for their own power. You know what I'm saying? Like it's vain because that's not how you serve God. So if vain means you're doing something with emptiness, with no point, no purpose. You think you're serving God. Like there's plenty of Christians out there that think by celebrating Christmas and getting presents for their kids and dressing up like Santa, they really think that has something to do with the Bible. Like they really think that has something to do with Jesus Christ, or who the world calls Jesus Christ. They really think he was born on that date, even though in the Bible, it's never ever mentioned anywhere about his birthday. You know, it doesn't give a date for his birth. All right. So it's vain. It's useless. All right. Keep going.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
He cuts a what?
A tree out of the forest.
All right, keep going.
The work of the hands of the workmen, with the axe. Verse 4. They decked it with silver and with gold. They fastened it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
So in 2020, what first of all is cut down from the forest? You know what I'm saying? What is cut down with the tree? It's cut down with an axe. All right, fastened with nails and hammers. And what's that last part say? They deck it with what?
So
did you read that yet?
Go
verse 4.
In verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold.
Man, you guys don't. I remember when I was in the world a kid, we'd have to wrap our Christmas tree with those little gold, banners and silver things. You know what I'm saying? Like that is exactly talking about a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? I seen Christians try to argue and say, this isn't about a Christmas tree. This is an idol. You fool. You know what I'm saying? A Christmas tree is an idol. Don't be foolish, man. Like, don't be stupid. This is talking about a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? Even if it wasn't a Christmas tree, you know what I'm saying? What's the purpose of them doing this for? To worship it, to serve it. What do people do to a Christmas tree? They bow down. They put gifts under it, not knowing that Christmas tree, first of all, represents a phallus, which is a penis, all right? And they're bowing down to it, putting gifts under it, don't even realize what they're doing. All right, keep going.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
That it moves not. You know, you don't want your Christmas tree to fall down on your kids. You know, that's what at least that's how the white man thinks. So they got to fasten it down, get whatever they need, the apparatuses to fasten this idol down so that it stands tall. You know what I'm saying? So this is for sure an idol. All right. This is a snare unto our people. All right. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
Yeah.
They must needs be born.
They must needs be what?
Be born. Because they cannot go.
They must needs be born. They must needs be created by the hands of men. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it means. Keep going.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good.
All right. So he's telling you that these things, don't be afraid. He's trying to explain to the Israelites, Jeremiah, don't be afraid. Because at that time, it was a strange thing unto them, but at the same time, they were participating in it. You know what I'm saying? Christmas goes way, way back. all the way to the Egyptians, to the Babylonians. Like, it's not a new thing. It's not the white man specifically. He didn't create it. Understand? Like, this goes way, way back. All right. The white man just takes everybody's cultures and ways, whether they be good or right, or righteous or evil, and he just adapts them into his society. That's why the scripture says that that Babylon is the home of every foul bird. You know what I'm saying? Every beast of the field. All right, and every unclean spirit. All right. So yeah. All right, give me Amos 5:15. My book of Shatu bring your rock.
Another one kind. Amos 5:15. Jeremiah. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, and verse 15. Hate the evil and love the good.
Hate the what?
Hate the evil and love. So like, and love the good.
Hate the evil and love the good. All right, we're gonna get deeper into the class. We're gonna get to the history. You know what I'm saying? And the origins of Christmas. And Yahushua said, if the root be evil, you know what I'm saying, then so are the branches. So you can't. So basically, what that's a cut to is people saying, well, Christmas, that was that back then. But today, we don't celebrate it for the same reasons. We don't have sex orgies in the street dedicated to another god. We don't do that today. We don't sacrifice our children on the altar for Christmas. That was back then. But Yahushua said, if the root be evil, then so are the branches. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically saying, you know what I'm saying, that the root is corrupted. So whatever it's going to produce, the fruit is going to be corrupted. I think, just paraphrasing. We're going to go there, actually. We'll keep going.
And establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph.
All right, now jump down to 21.
Verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Keep on.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I reward the peace offerings of your fat beast.
All right. Officers of Baja, you get me Matthew 7:17. So basically, he's telling the Israelites, these are your feasts, meaning these are the feasts that you are deciding to keep. All right. These are the feasts that you're deciding to keep. And you know what I'm saying? These are not my feasts. These are not the high holy days listed in Leviticus 23. These are the ways of the other nations that you have took upon yourselves to learn. And I'm not going to honor your feast days. I'm not there when you do your sacrifices. That's not to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, Christmas.
Hey, man. What's going on, man? Just thought I'd step on in here. What's going on, Aki? Don't let nothing stop you from teaching the class, doing the work of the Most High. Satan's going to come with any angle he can. You understand? Right. Any angle to stop you from coming to the truth. You can't fall for it. The school that you're in, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, is the home of the truth. It is a school that has been set up since 1969 to push the truth to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the things that you'll go through are the same things Paul went through, same things Christ, the one you call Christ, Yahushua went through, the same things that Peter went through. Hold on and stick tight, Akim, to the officers and to the troopers as well. Stick tight, sharpen your game up, man. Sharpen up. This is so-called Christmas, where Esau is pushing all manner of wickedness on the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And there are people that need you, man. Need you to step up. Need you to be strong. Need you to teach the class. So I appreciate Akim for holding it down. Has some technical issues, etc. going on, but I'm in the game. Can everyone hear me?
Con.
All right, so let's go. Christmas, right? First, let me get questions.
Con, sir.
So,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Trooper.
can I just have a general breakdown of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 3?
Yeah.
Verse 3. Okay.
All right, read it when you have it.
Con. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 3. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which were seen were not made of things which do appear.
Question.
Just a general breakdown on this, sir.
All right. Through faith, we understand. What does that mean? Through faith.
You passed me the.
Through our faith in the scriptures.
What is faith first?
Faith is belief.
Through that belief, you do what?
We follow the Most High.
You works. Preach that faith without works is dead. Faith is the belief in something, but you can't have faith without works. You have to demonstrate or show that you believe in something. All right, through faith, through our belief, and through the works, through believing this thing, we understand, so we know that the worlds were framed by the word of God. Hold on a second. That the worlds, plural, were framed by the word of God. What does that mean?
It's like the different nations on earth.
Nations, ages, or societies. The word world means age or society. So the different ages, the epochs, eras, and the societies within those eras were framed or put together by the word of God. Meaning, well, you can go through the Bible and you can read about the 18 nations, the 18 races, the 18 families that are on this planet Earth. You can read about the rise. You can read about the origin and the lineage of many of all those races. Okay? All the races are on the planet Earth. Who was that framed by? Who made that statement? The word of God. Where? Genesis, the 10th chapter. Genesis, the 10th chapter, you see families, and from families you get what? Societies, worlds. The Jeffersons, we do things this way. The Adams over here in Regent Park, we do things a different way, right? And the Schwartzkoffels in Bathurst, they do things a different way. You understand that? Where did that come from? The different families and delineations. The Lord delineated the nations. He separated the nations. That's what it means when it says, through the word of God, the worlds were formed. Okay? Read on.
Con. So that things which were seen were not made of things.
Read it again.
Which do appear.
You read it as it's written, all right? There's no word there between which and seen. Read it again after the comma.
Con. So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
The things which are seen were made of things which do not appear. Break that down. Meaning, this didn't just come from thin air. The common misconception about creation is that there was just a giant explosion from randomness, and from randomness humans came and monkeys and apes. You get my point. All of these things were made by things that do appear. You can look at these things. They know now that there are subatomic particles and atoms, and you're made up of mostly water, etc. You have flesh, etc. They know that all those things came from things. You get my point? We're constituted of elements. The universe, creation is all made and put together by things that are real. The creation of the earth is not random. Now, the second part on, okay, the worlds being the earth and the worlds, etc., and the creation of things which are there but now appear. I'm going to ask that on that topic on Monday. So you asked a general breakdown. That's a general breakdown. I think there's another that second part. I think that second part is manifold. All right. So I'll ask about it on Monday. Did I answer your question for the rest of the verse?
What, sir? question.
Next.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
I wanted a breakdown of why, because I heard a caller calling across the line and ask, and I thought about, so I wanted to get a breakdown on it.
Right.
They just basically hung up on him because he was a scoffer. But anyway, basically, Noah, and the 8 souls that were saved on the ark, how did they repopulate without incest? Because that would be breaking the commandments, right?
Okay. Right.
So what would they have? What would they have done?
Those sons.
Concert. So because there was just 8 of them, right? 8 souls. So wouldn't that mean, unless like it was a worldwide flood, correct?
Right.
So if there's only 8 humans that survived, would they not have had to perform some sort of incest to repopulate?
That's hypothetical. The 8 souls. They could have been a sister or something that came on of one of the brothers. Let's say somebody had an aunt, not an aunt, but a cousin. Someone had a sister who's had a son who then got with somebody else. That could have happened. I mean, that's a possibility. It just says 8 people. It doesn't say who they were.
Okay, kind of okay.
No point. So that's how it went down lawfully. Now, it doesn't say how some of those people got together. You get my point? You couldn't say that. You can't say one way or the other. Here's what we do know, that Shem kept the law. You understand?
Okay.
Father gave it to him. That's what we can say. All right?
Okay.
Doesn't make mention that Shem slept with his daughters. You can't say that he did. That's a silly question. But outside of that, you can't say what they did. It's not written. Here's what we do know that they. But
So like it's a common. It was you're right, because it said it was like basically Noah, his wife and his sons and their wives. So actually, technically, that wouldn't even be incest.
yeah, if they just had kids and on down the line, you had cousins and stuff like that. That wouldn't have been incest, or somebody else. 8 souls could have been anybody outside of their wives and kids or what have you. So that's not what you can posit even, because it doesn't say that they had incest. All right.
Shalom, everyone. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, about you. Any other questions? All right, so with that, we're going to go into Christmas. Christmas is a lie. It's a satanic holiday. Okay. Origins are in Saturnalia. We're going to get all that broken down here in a second. First of all, I want Ecclesiasticus. I pull this a lot in the so-called holidays. Ecclesiasticus, about 33. Hold on. Loads.
So
go ahead.
I got it for you, sir.
Oh man, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 and verse 9, or verse 8, verse 7 actually. Why doth one day excel another?
Yeah, why does one day excel another? Read on.
When as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
Yeah, it's all of the sun. Sun rises, the sun sets. So what makes one day better than another? Read on.
Verse 8, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished.
By what?
The knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished.
By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. The knowledge of the Lord did not exalt December 25th above other days. The knowledge of the Lord did not exalt. What is it? Is it 7 days of Christmas or the 10 days of Christmas?
Oh, right. I forgot, sir.
I think it's the 7 days of Christmas. The Lord did not exalt the 7 days of Christmas. Okay, the 7 days of Christmas go back to the 6 or 7 days of Saturnalia. Christmas is a carbon copy of the ancient Roman pagan orgy, sodomite fest known as Saturnalia.
Right.
Okay, we'll get into all that as well, which it comes in origin from Mithras or Mithraism, the worship of the sun in Egypt, which is where all these silly holidays come from. Heathens and idiots being afraid of the stars. You so-called astrologers, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a Pisces, you're a fool and you're afraid of the stars.
Right.
You think the stars dictate how evil you are. They don't. You dictate how evil you are. And I don't care if a damn French fry appeared in the sky when you were born. You're evil. Okay, that's just as deep as it goes. And you changing comes from the Most High. Your personality comes from who and what you seek to be and the demons you have. Okay, that's where your mannerisms, etc., come from. That's where your behavior comes from, man. All right. So the knowledge of the Lord exalted one day above another. Where does the knowledge of the Lord exalt one day above another? Precept.
Slocky, sir, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
Scripture say by the knowledge of the Lord, one day is exalted above another. Where?
Salakia, sir.
But Officer Zabadian?
Would it be Leviticus, the 23rd chapter?
That's exactly where it is. Give him a hand. Those are the feasts of God, of the Most High, one you call God. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Okay? That's where they're at. It says it in the second verse or so. These are my feasts. Even these are my holy convocations. Christmas isn't in there. I've been flipping the Bible upside down, Officer Darash. I put the Bible underneath an atomic microscope to find some small print that said Christmas, Jesus was born December 25th in the New Testament. I still can't find it, man.
Right.
Flipping it upside down. I've been trying to read it backwards, read the words in reverse. I can't find Christmas in the Bible in terms of God being in support of it. But I can show you where God explicitly prohibits one of the main customs of Christmas. We're going to get into that next. God is against Christmas, man. When your granny and mom and aunt are on the damn being intubated for COVID-19, then you'll know that he's against Thanksgiving as well.
Right.
Many so-called Americans are going to die over some nasty dry butterball turkey that your damn mom can't cook or your aunt can't cook any damn way, and a bunch of soggy bread and that nasty cranberry jam. You're going to lose your lives over a damn meal, okay? And many idiots are going to lose their life over a rear end of a damn pig.
Right.
They're going to lose their life over a pig's behind. Okay, over that nasty honey glazed ham, those stupid skeety sweaters that you all wear. We're going to get to that as well. That's a pagan custom as well. Those ugly sweaters during Christmas. It comes from Saturnalia again. Okay, and all that silly nonsense underneath that Christmas tree. Let me tell you something. If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, and you hung up a Christmas tree in your house, you worship rods. You worship phallus.
Right.
You worship. That's a phallus symbol, brother.
Right.
Pause. Got to pause on that one. A hard pause on the tree lovers. It's upright. It's nice and erect, isn't it, brother? It's nice and erect. It's up there in your house. Your kids love it. Oh, your wife loves it. You put gifts under it. She just loves it, doesn't she? That's not how it goes in this house.
Right.
You understand? We're going to serve the Most High.
Right.
That's right.
I read on in Ecclesiasticus.
Khan. Verse 9. Verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
He altered seasons and feasts. He dictated the season of the Passover, season of the feast of first fruits, and feasts. He delineated the feast. What is Canada doing talking about Christmas and Christ loves everybody? You celebrating a holiday pushed by a society, a fraternity of rapists known as the Roman Catholic Church.
Right.
A bunch of pedophiles, sexual deviants, etc. in there. Them and that damn nun. Okay?
Right.
That damn nun is about as freaky as Cardi B and Friday on the Bronx. Okay? When they toss that shawl off and shake everything that the Lord gave them. Okay? And having sex with all those priests all the time. Okay? Go ahead, Officer Adiar.
I had a question, sir. I had one, if I may.
Go ahead.
Was that verse? Can we precept that verse with Daniel chapter 7 verse 25?
Yes, that he changed. Yeah, he would seek to change times and laws. He changed laws. The feasts of God of the Most High are supposed to be celebrated. All these nations, all these rulers take from the Bible to rule the planet Earth. They all do.
Right.
All this quarantine, all that 14 days, that's in Leviticus, man. 2 sets. All they did was took the 7 days and doubled it. 2 sets of 7 days.
Right.
That's from the Bible. You putting a mask over your face when you had some sort of uncleanness is in the Bible. It's in Leviticus.
Right.
You had a certain form of leprosy. You would cover your upper lip, and you would go back to town saying, unclean, unclean. To avoid, if you have COVID-19, you don't have symptoms, they tell you to do what? or a mask. It's in the Bible. Washing your hands, purifying, cleaning yourself is in the Bible. But then they changed the feast days. They made Christ's birth December 25th, which is a damn lie. You can't find that in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. They made the New Year January 1st, Officer IDR. They said pork's or other white meat. They told you Christmas was the happiest time of the year.
Right.
And your family's going to erupt in all manner of
Right.
demons to try and get you to come back during this time of the year because the Christmas demon is out. You got to fight it, and I fought it today. Christmas demon. The demon of wanting to, be around your family and your people and this is disgusting. Disgusting is what it is. And it is a demon. Okay, it comes on around this time of year. Also, that demon of shopping is going to be out heavily too, and the demon of wanting everything to excess, being a drunk, being high, which is another damn sin. You understand? Going to sleeping with another man's woman.
Constant.
All happened during this time. They sought to change times and laws. You can use that absolutely. They changed and made their days the feast days. Okay, so I'm going to go into Christmas. I ain't the bar. This is Christmas. The Roman Empire's religion was one of sun worship, Mithraism. So the Roman concept of sun worship came from Egypt through Mithras. And when Egypt was overcome by the Most High and then destroyed by the other nations, then when Assyria came and was overcome by the other nations, by Babylon, Babylon was overcome by Persia. When they destroyed empires, that wasn't it. They came in and took what? Information. Stealing information is heavily important even to this day. America, when they went into Iraq, they said, we're going to win this war by winning the hearts and minds of the people. Taking and controlling what's in people's minds is very important in conquering them. Taking the practices of other nations that they use to subjugate their people and to keep them under this philosophy is always something that's copied from nation to nation, which is why in Revelation, 13? This beast was like unto a leopard, like unto a bear, right? Had the mouth of a lion. Why? Because it has all these empires within it. Canada, America, is an embodiment, is the total demonic, full final form embodiment of Assyria, Babylon, Rome, and Greece. Okay? Everything from the Amazon and the love for instant communication, that comes from Persia. They had a deep, intricate communication system in Persia. And they had one of the same mottos as the United States Postal Service, a similar motto to the United States Postal Service. I'll bring that out if I can find the paper. Deportation. Canada loves to deport you, right? Who else were sticklers on deportation? America loves to deport you too, right? The Assyrian Empire were sticklers on deportation. Now, I got a question to you. Who did the Assyrians have in captivity? Who knows? Trooper, you're on.
Select, sir, if I could. Israel, sir, Northern Kingdom, huh?
Who?
The Northern Kingdom, the Israelites.
Which are today known as who?
Sorry, repeat that again, sir.
Who would the Northern Kingdom, so-called Northern Kingdom, be called today?
Salaka, sir. The so-called Native Americans or Native Indians and Hispanics, sir.
And the Latinos. Who does America love to deport? Oh, now we're getting somewhere. The Assyrian Empire, they were sticklers on deportation. America is sticklers on deportation against the same exact people. That's Revelation 13. Mouth of a bear, feet like a leopard. Okay? Assyria had problems with terrorism as well. They got their ass handed to them just like America did in Vietnam. But when you would ask them, they would tell you no, they didn't lose. Which is why if you go in American archives, they're not going to say that they lost in Vietnam, that that objective was lost, and in Afghanistan as well. Syria had the same problems before its demise of small groups of terrorists antagonizing it in its outward posts. Okay, these nations are carbon copies of their predecessors. Canada is no different with Christmas. Christmas comes from Mithraism, which is Egyptian sun worship. I'm going to read on. A pagan deity whose religious influence became widespread in the Roman Empire during the first few centuries AD. Mithra was related to the Semitic sun god Shamash, which is just the Hebrew word for sun. All right, and his worship spread throughout Asia to Europe, where he was called Deus Sol Invictus Mithras. December 25th is the birth of Sol Invictus, or Inconquerable Sun, S-U-N. It's the worship of the
Right.
sun. That's what December 25th was about. When the Roman Catholic Church got a hold of it, they changed S-U-N to S-O-N, the birth of the Son of God, the only begotten Son. They took
Right.
Christ's life, Christ's birth, just the greatness and the absolute, the awesomeness of it. You get my point? The anticipation of it and the birth finally happened. They took it and they ran it through, dragged it through the damn mud by saying he was born December 25th, and you got damn elves working for Amazon up on the North Pole, packaging, working day and night up there to ship your goods. Okay, so really, you got Amazon workers working 3.5 days straight to meet all these orders, man. They're working them to death up there in those slave pits known as Amazon. Now you can get a job there; it's not unlawful, but they're absolute slave owners. Okay, and that's what makes Christmas run: the blood, sweat, and tears of the poor, man, of the poor to even the heathens to make all these damn PS5s and all this. And again, I'm not saying it's unlawful, but if you push to support this system, and love it and relish in it, and relish in these dysfunctional families, absolutely demonic. It is what this nation wants. America, Canada, okay? Is a worship of the sun. When the Roman Catholic Church wanted to bring in more members, they made December 25th the birth of the Son, Christ. That's a lie. We're going to show you when Christ was born. Who knows where it is? I mean, Luke 2:1. Quickly. Luke chapter 2, verse 1.
Count on time.
Come on.
Luke chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Now, I have a question for Christians. When was the Roman tax season? The Roman tax season was during the months of March, April.
Right.
When is tax season in Canada? Are they taxing you during the dead of winter? No. Say again.
Nah, sir.
When's tax season in Canada?
Sir. March, April, sir.
March, April. Tax season in America is March, April. Tax season of the Roman Empire was March to April, the springtime. And I'm going to prove that to you in the next few verses and break it down. All right, read on.
Verse 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Verse 3.
Taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And all went to be taxed, everyone in his own city.
Everyone got taxed in their own city. Everyone got taxed in their own city. Now, Rome had Finland, Sarmatia, which is modern-day Russia. You mean to tell me, right, they were taxing people and they were going to have people go to their hometown, walk to their hometown during the dead of winter, December 25th? It didn't make any damn sense, man. All you have to do is look at a map and see what Rome conquered, and see that some of these areas you can't walk from point A. You couldn't walk to point A from point B now. You would freeze to death. But you think they would do it back then? The tax season was during a time that you could amicably walk. You could peacefully walk from point A to point B. That would have been done closer to the springtime. It would have been cold in some areas still. Wouldn't have been the damn winter. It wouldn't have been December 25th.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, sir, what you're bringing out is so heavy about the tax season being in the spring, and the Roman Empire in that time is stretched from where Rome is to all the way up into Russia. And Salakia, sir, in World War II, when the Germans tried to march on Russia, they froze to death in the winter. They could not do it. So no one would be sending. Why would you go get gold in the winter? It's gonna freeze. It's gonna Salakia, sir, your soldiers are gonna die.
No, you're absolutely right. That's fact. During the siege of when the Nazis invaded Russia, they came in with full force and were kicking the
Right.
vodka out. Were punching, knocking the vodka out those Ruskies.
Right.
Then the winter came. They should ask Napoleon about that. Napoleon went through the same thing. Napoleon Bonaparte thought he was big and bad. He was feeling, he was in his panties were in a knot because he got his ass kicked by the Levites. Okay, he was a world famous general, famous like Caesar, lost to Levi's slaves, poor slaves with diarrhea-inducing potions and machetes. That's what he lost to, the diarrhea-inducing drinks and machetes. So he wanted to get some fame back after that. He thinks of it as an embarrassment. Went into Russia and froze to death. Okay, Christ was born during the Roman tax season. Luke 2:1 through 3. The Roman tax season, like America's tax season, was during the spring. Let's read on.
Verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee.
And Joseph also went up from Galilee, northern part of Israel at that time. Go ahead.
Out of the city of Nazareth
City of Nazareth. Go ahead.
into Judea.
Into Judea. Go ahead.
Onto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem,
Read on.
because he was of the house and lineage of David.
He was of the house of lineage of David. How was Christ of the house of lineage of David? Because Christ is the son of Joseph.
Right.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
The root and offspring of David. Joseph's the root and offspring of David. There's several scriptures I can pull. People said Joseph is his father. All right? It's another cut to the Immaculate Conception. Read on.
Verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, that she
The days were coming what?
that she should be delivered.
That she should be delivered. She delivered during the Roman tax season, not during the winter. She delivered during the Roman tax season. Christ was not born December 25th as an absolute satanic lie. Read on.
Right.
Verse 7. She brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped it in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manner, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Laid him in a manger. Christ was born poor. That's what Christ was born. He was born in a house just like you were. Just like you were. And that's the beauty of his birth, man. Anyone pushing the Immaculate Conception hates the one you call Christ. He made it appear as if he just came here and it was just a magical, easy trip. He was in Rainbow Road in Mario Kart, just floating through the dam, just going, shooting, going half-a about everything and just floating around and being soft and sweet. He was a man. He had a rod. He had desire just like you did. And he was perfect, man. And he was perfect. He was born, firstborn of Mary, just like the scriptures. Okay? Just like the scriptures say. Firstborn from a virgin, meaning a woman of marriageable age. Okay? Mary had sex with Joseph and brought Christ forth. Okay? And Christ was born during the so-called springtime. Just prove that Luke 2:1 through, I believe it's verse 8. Okay? That whole notion of him being born December 25th is a lie. December 25th has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. December 25th is the birth of Sol Invictus, right, from Rome, which is in the Latin. Originally, it was the birth of Nimrod. The birth of Nimrod. That's when Nimrod was born, man. And his wife/mother, Semiramis, when he died, Semiramis said, "Look, Nimrod's alive. He lives in this tree. And if you don't do what he says, your head's going to be put on the tree," which is why, take a look at a Christmas tree. It's got balls on it. Those balls at one time were someone's head put on that damn tree for not putting silver and gold underneath the tree in worship of Nimrod. If you are naughty or nice, you know where that comes from. You better be good. Okay, be good for Christmas' sake. It was be good for your head's sake. If you do not come with silver and gold, offering your gifts to this god, Nimrod, who's now immortalized, your head was put on the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is evergreen because if you look during the winter in Canada, most of the trees, they lost their leaves. Now, to an idiot, they would think that that tree is dead, doesn't have any life. So that's what's going on. It is dormant because of the temperature. That evergreen tree, however, it still has its needles, right? Toronto, you can go see evergreen trees right now. Snow get on them and everything, and they'll keep their needles. The heathen, specifically the Japhites in Europe, thought that that meant that that tree would signify immortality. Okay, as did the followers of Nimrod. All right, and gifts were put under this tree in worship of this god Nimrod, who later became associated with the sun, became Sol Invictus, December 25th. Go ahead, Trooper Charlie 1.
Like it says, is that the Nimrod spoken of?
Exactly, that's
in
exactly that
Genesis?
Nimrod. All right,
Okay.
exactly that Nimrod. All right. Hold on a second. As such, Rome converted this pagan legacy to a celebration of the god Saturn. Now, it was Sol Invictus. The Romans converted it to the worship of the god Saturn, Saturnalia. You can just go and Google this. All this stuff you can go look up. You can make this up. I didn't write a book making this up in my room with tinfoil on my head. It's something you can just Google. Google will tell you this. The world will tell you this. There's pagan origins of Christmas, and it goes back to Saturnalia. It has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. Nothing. Okay? The winter holiday became known as Saturnalia. Matter of fact, hold on a second. As such, Rome converted this pagan legacy to a celebration of the god Saturn and the rebirth of the sun god during the winter solstice period. It teaches that this is the birth of Christ, which is a lie. The winter holiday became known as Saturnalia and began the week prior to December 25th. 7 days of Christmas, right? 6 days of Christmas. There were 6 days of Saturnalia. It's the pagan holiday. This is also a white supremacist holiday. Christmas is not a black holiday. So-called Negroes that celebrate Christmas celebrate the same God, worship the same God, doing the same customs as the police that murdered them. Don't cry out in the spring when they open back up and get the slaughtering Negroes underneath Lois, a.k.a. Kamala Harris. Okay? You sound like Lois from Family Guy. Don't cry out to Lois when the police come out and murder like deer, kill like deer during deer season. Don't cry out, man. Don't cry out to Joe Biden when it happens because it's going to happen. Why? Because God hates the celebration of Christmas, man. It is a worship of white supremacy of the Roman Empire. And you're celebrating the same holiday the police do. How are we going to get upset when they kill us? We worship the same God they do. Okay? The exact same God. All right, I'm going to read on. As the priests of Saturn the festival was characterized by gift giving. This is Saturnalia now. Gift giving during December 25th, feasting, Christmas ham, right? All those side dishes, singing Christmas carols as well. That's another pagan hymn as well. Those Christmas carols are just like gospel music. Avoid it, okay? The worship of another god. Right. And downright debauchery. All kinds of rape, pedophilia, threesomes, all sorts of disgusting. Forget the prostitutes. Plenty of so-called black and Hispanic prostitutes are bought during Christmas. I probably can't count them. I count them. I'd be dead 3 times over before I counted all the black and Hispanic prostitutes that idiots buy during Christmas all across the 12 tribes: Colombia, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti. Okay. Then jump up online. We got to protect our queens. Nos ajenas in Portuguese. Protege nos ajenas. When you treating her like $2 hoe, all carnival and all Christmas. Give me a damn break, man. You can't ask in the scriptures. You can't take from the cup of devils and from the cup of God. You can't say you want to protect so-called black women. Negroes saying they want to protect black women. So-called Negroes. So-called Latinos saying they want to protect Latino women. So-called Native Americans say we need to protect our queens. Because you buying prostitutes. You supporting OnlyFans. You having sex with her and throwing her away because she don't make you feel good. Give me a damn break, man. You can't take from the cup of the Most High and the cup of the devils. And that's what any Negro that celebrates Christmas is taken from the cup of devils. It's the slave master, the Caucasians. Right. This is their holiday, man. This is their holiday. We understand West Indian in Canada, so-called West Indian, so-called Haitian in Quebec. We understand why you celebrate it. So-called Negro in America, we understand why you celebrate it. So-called Latino, Central Americans, South Americans, we know why you celebrate it, because that was the day the conquistador or the slave master would let the slaves drink and get drunk. Go do your research. Slaves rarely, drank when they were working. We weren't given alcohol provisions. But what they were allowed to do is drink and get as drunk as they want during Christmas. You can go look this up. They had a day off where they could drink and get as drunk as they want during Christmas. That's why Sister Nancy wants to celebrate it. That's why Jean Jacques wants to celebrate it. That's why Consuela and Juan and Hermalita want to celebrate it, because it's just in our DNA. As slaves, we were whipped, beaten, and there was one day we could get drunk. Officer Daraj, can you teach the class? I got to answer the door.
Oh, God, sir. And Salaki, like Officer Blunt said.
Salaki. Officer Adiar, teach the class. Salaki.
And just like Oshaban was saying, Christmas is not a day for us to celebrate, man. Christmas is a day where you understand all pedophiles go around. Imagine having your kids sitting on the lap of a pedophile. You understand? You go to the mall. You go to the mall and you don't even know if that guy's not a pedophile molesting kids. Then you have your kids taking pictures. You understand? Well, we were kids, right? While you got your kids sitting in the lap of a damn pedophile. Christmas is about sexual deviancy, man. You know what I'm saying? Christmas is only about the white man world. It's not for you, Black, Spanish, and Native Indian, man. Christmas should not be for you. It is not for you. It was never for you, man. You know what's like Officer Abon was saying? What is for you is found in Leviticus chapter 23, man. You understand? God gave us feast days, man. God gave us feast to celebrate. But we rather celebrate what the enemy, what the oppressor, tell us to celebrate. You understand? And I have this book over here, the Ultimate Bible Dictionary. We know that Christian they don't read. You understand? I'm gonna read a little paragraph from it. No evidence remains about the exact date of the birth of Christ. The December 25th date was chosen as much as for practical reasons as for theological ones. Throughout the Roman Empire, various festivals were held in conjunction with the winter solstice, man. This is what you celebrate in Christmas, man. You understand? What also was dropping was so amazingly heavy, you understand? This is actually in the dictionary, man. In the Bible dictionary, man. You understand? Let me keep going. And I was saying, it's right there. It's right there in the dictionary, man. Understand? When Christian became the religion of the empire, the church either had to suppress the festival or transform them. The winter solstice seemed an appropriate time to celebrate Christ's birth. You understand? The Christian church took pagan feast days, pagan ideology, and mixed it with the Bible, man. Mix it with their you understand? I'll pass the class back to you, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to read on where I was. Give me that precept. Should be right. I think it's 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. You cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. All right. Is the New International Dictionary of the Christian Church. It's page 223. From the New International Dictionary of the Christian Church, page 223, it says December 25th was the date of the Roman pagan festival, inaugurated in 274 as the birthday of the unconquered sun, which at the winter solstice begins again to show an increase in light. Sometime before 336, the church in Rome under Constantine's control, this is the same so-called Negro that made Sunday the day of rest. The same so-called Negro that brought in, that had the cross associated with Christ, in so much as that was his symbol, when it's not the shield of David. The Magun Dawada is the symbol of Christ. Okay, that symbol's on the throne that he sits on, the throne of his father David. Okay, this is the same Constantine. Right. Let's read on. Unable to stamp out this pagan festival, spiritualized it as the feast of the nativity of the Son of Righteousness. Islam observes. So that's that definitions from the New International Dictionary of the Christian Church. All right, this is from the Two Babylons, page 93. It's from a book called The Two Babylons, page 93. That Christmas was originally a pagan festival, is beyond all doubt. The time of year and the ceremonies with which it is still celebrated prove its origin. It is a pagan holiday. That's all it is. I got to answer the door again. So like
Right. Come, sir. You understand? And so what we're saying right now, we're saying like, you understand, Officer Aban just dropped two heavy books, you understand, where we see that Christmas has nothing to do with the Bible. You understand? But pagan feast. I dropped one book, and it's the same thing. What are we gonna say now, Christian? Are we gonna say, well, let's do it for the kids? We're gonna say, let's do it for the kids. Well, everybody's receiving gift. The Bible says, train up a child the way to go, man. Matter of fact, somebody bring me to that precept. It's on Proverbs 22, verse 6. You understand? Teach your children not to celebrate Christmas, man. Teach your children not to do what the oppressor is doing, man. That's how we're supposed to teach our kids. Not to say, well, let's do it for the kids. You understand? We got to do it for the kids. The kids need to, it's a happy time for the kids, yeah. By letting it sit down on the lap of a molester. Let's do it for the kid. By letting your kid sitting down on the lap of a pedophile. Go ahead, sir.
Salakia, sir, what you're doing now is so heavy because in 2017 there was an Edomite serial killer. He was killing homosexuals in the city of Toronto, and he was working in the east end of the city as Santa Claus, and many kids were sitting on his laps. Homosexual serial killer.
You understand? Let's do it for the kids, though. You understand?
Absolutely, that's heavy, man. I didn't know about that, Ken. I know who you're talking about. But give me 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Go on, Officer Adi, I appreciate it.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 21. Select it. 10 and 21. Select. I just had it here. Select. Oh, kind of one kind. 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
That sums up our problem, man. Since Sinai, Mount Sinai, since the wilderness, so-called Black, Spanish, and Native Americans have been serving God, the Most High, as they saw fit. Have been serving under the guise of serving the Most High. They've really been worshiping other gods. Remember, when you go back to the creation of that golden calf, they said, "Let's make a feast to the Lord." That's what they said.
Yeah.
And let's build this golden calf. What was it in reality? It was the worship of that golden calf, the bull from Memphis. The worship of that God. What does a Christian church say? Let's celebrate December 25th as the birth of the nativity of Jesus Christ, the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. What is it actually? It's worship of the god Saturn. It's the worship of phalluses, of male rods, and it's the worship of Nimrod. Okay? You can't have the cup of the Lord, take what the Most High has, and take in what it is devils have. You can't say you follow God and speak about the Bible and celebrate Christmas. The two don't match. Go ahead, Officer Daraj.
So that's heavy what you're saying, like especially that precept, like where they said, "Let us do it as a feast to the Lord." Like that's so heavy because that's exactly what they say today. You know, they say, well, the reasons that or the way that they did Christmas back then, we obviously don't do it like that today. We do it in a different way. And like I was gonna bring out a precept before, in Matthew 7 and 17, like he talks about if the root of the tree is corrupt, what I'm saying, then the fruit, what I'm saying, can't bring forth good fruit if the root is corrupt. So like you can't just now change the meaning of what something had in the beginning and say, well, I want it to be like this. Like it's always been corrupt, it always will be.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. That's the Christian church. International. Always been corrupt, always will be corrupt. And they, under the guise of serving the Most High, serve every single stinking god of the slave master. Read on, Trooper Urad.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
Can't be partakers of the Lord's table and the table of devils, man. The Lord's table. What it is he has to say, the things that he says to do. Can't cry out about the Most High and God and Christ and all that, and be at the table with devils. You're at the table with devils. You eat the Christmas ham. At the table with devils, you eat that Christmas meal and grab presents underneath that damn tree.
Right.
That's what you're under. You're at the table of devils. You got to pick one, man. Paul said this a while ago. This demon belonged to do what the Romans did. That's the saying. Do as the Romans do. Well, that demon has been around since the days of Paul. He fought the same exact thing that you're fighting, man. Same exact thing at a family level. The same exact thing on a city level. All of you, Lord allow, one day you'll take cities. You'll take men out to camp. Men will be calling you, sir. Men from the city will be coming to you and asking you questions. You'll see them come out of the world and become priests of the Most High. One day, Lord allow. You understand? What you have to understand, we have to train them. What you have to keep within yourself is continuing to do what the Most High said to do. You get my point? To read these records and get an example. The scriptures say this: that which was written before time was written for our learning. You have to understand that everything that you're going through on a personal level and at a camp level, at a level of a priest, officer, already it already occurred in scriptures. The answer to everything in the Bible. Okay? Where is the Bible taught? The Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. We are connoisseurs of the Bible, just like a wine taster is a connoisseur of wine. A plumber, he knows his toilets. ISUBK, we know the Bible, and you don't. Okay?
Right.
Why? Because you take the cup of the Most High and the cup of devils. Follow the Most High. Yeah, keep the laws. Oh, don't take the RFID chip. White women, though, ooh, we get a white woman. Oh, this guy wants to come battle us. Hey, guys, let's go. Let's go argue with him.
All right.
Let's beat some Negroes up in Memphis. Let's beat some people up. Let's make fights with people. You can't do that, man. You can't say you in the truth and just do the same thing everybody else does in the world and celebrate and worship the same gods and have sex with the same whores that everyone else has sex with. All right?
Right.
You can't do that. All right? Paul was saying not to do that. Now, where else do I want to go? Give me Genesis 10 and 1. Hold on one second, Aki. Before Jeremiah 10 and 1, give me Amos 5 and 21. You know what I want.
Khan, I want Khan. Amos 5 and 21. I despise your feast days.
Hold on one second. Who we got popped in there in the building, man? Is that Trooper Squad? Hey, man, long time no see. Situated. Right. All right. Good to see you, Ott. Okay. All right. Where Amos 5 and 21, I despise your feast days. You read Ecclesiastes 33 where it said, why does one day excel another? Because of the knowledge of the Lord. So if it's not the Passover, if it's not the Feast of Dedication, if it's not the Feast of Purim, if it's not what else? Feast of First Fruits, Day of Atonement, then the Most High did not sanction it. It is not his feast day. He hates your feast days. Christmas is your feast day. You made it up.
Right.
And God on TV said this is the happiest time of the year. Presents for everyone in Montreal. A man got up there and said that. But the Lord said this. The Lord said the Passover was to be celebrated. The Day of Atonement was to be celebrated. These feast days are to be celebrated and not Christmas, man. Christmas is a holiday of Satan. It is a white supremacist holiday. That's all it is. And there are a ton of white supremacists in the Black and Hispanic community. There's a ton of white supremacists. Let me give you another white supremacist. Anybody that buys weed or smokes weed, just know that you are a white supremacist. You work for the Klan. You're an active client and as a consumer of Klan material, of neo-Nazi material. You see the Zetas murdering and massacring people all across Latin America, Central America, for that damn weed and that fentanyl. It's going to come up to Canada and it's going to be bought and smoked by you, white supremacists, man. And all those that celebrate Christmas are white supremacists. God hates and he despises these feast days. And he's not going to smell it at all that train over the Christmas ham. Say that 2021 is better. Better than 2021 be worse. ISUPK prayed for 2020 to be the way it is. That's why 2020 is the way that it is. Because the Lord looked down and he heard the cries, the prayers of righteous men. And I pray 2021 is worse. That's what I pray for 2021. It's worse, horrible, death, destruction, famine, all from the Most High on these nations for the crimes they've committed against Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the pushing of these silly and idiotic holidays. Santa Claus guy is great, Trooper Supply. He's never paid my rent. He's great. He comes down the chimney. He's coming from the North Pole. He's better than Amazon. Amazon, I can't get same-day delivery for a damn thing, Trooper Supply, right now. But that Santa Claus on December 25th, he's not missing one order. He hadn't paid my rent. He hadn't paid my rent. He hadn't dropped a gift or a donation on these prostitutes walking up and down the streets of Toronto. He hadn't come to help any he hadn't come to help any authority anywhere find the missing and murdered Indigenous women. He used to be flying over, over the highway of tears over there, finding all those sisters that have been raped and murdered by the damn devil.
Right.
He hadn't done any of that with his damn sleigh. He knows it from here nice. Why can't he find where these Native American sisters are at, man? He can't. So what in the hell are we celebrating him for? What are we telling our kids? Santa Claus comes down a chimney. You traumatize your children when you say that. You wonder why they grow up. Got every whore in Toronto in the six. Everybody in the six. What's that one? Chromaz? Give me some more. Give me the ones you like. Chromaz? Some other one. Come on. I'm going to you in a second. The biggest whore in Toronto, Squad. I'm playing. No, you going to say it?
I mean, I'm not even paying attention like that, sir, but there's a few of them out there yet, that's for sure.
There's a few. Anyway, I'm kidding on it. All those, he hadn't come to help them when they were molested and their family. He hadn't come to fix their families. He hadn't come to help their daddy issues. Okay? Give me a damn break. Tell me this, he works better than Amazon. He hadn't found one missing and murdered Indigenous women. To hell with Santa Claus. That's from God, from the ISUPK rather. When you call God. I pray that God impounds his sleigh. I pray he come out of the North Pole and God got those big, those things you got on the rims when you impound a car. I pray there's an those impound shackles on that damn stinking sleigh. Go ahead.
So I want to tell you a comment about Santa Claus. Like when I was a kid, and I realized I was like, wait, Ma, we don't even have a chimney. How does he get in here? And she said, he walks magically through walls.
Right. He comes through. That's not even. Let me Jeremiah 2:11. Everything I'm saying here, though, it's funny on a carnal level, but look at me spiritually. I'm not taking Jeremiah 2:11 to tell you what I'm talking about. Like we lie to our kids, our sons, about Santa Claus and all that, and then we're crying, upset because you walk in and you got chromas on the damn bed. There's some other broad on the bed he should not be dealing with. He didn't tell you about it because you told him Santa Claus is real and he wasn't. You lie to your kids early. So that's why they lie to you when they're older. Because you teach them to lie. Go ahead. Anyone else have anything? Jeremiah 2:11, chapter 2, verse 11. All right?
Oh, come on.
Great.
This is the book of Jeremiah.
Come.
Hold on 1 second. Let the troopers read. Troopers generally read in class. Let's have the troopers read out here. All right? Trooper Shariwan, Trooper Urad, Jeremiah 2:11. All right? So quad as well. I'll let Trooper Chariwan, take this one, please. All right, I appreciate it. The water.
So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 11. Hath the nation changed their gods?
Has the nation changed their gods? Is there yet no God? All these other gods.
People have changed their glory.
All these other gods are nothing. They're no gods. Santa Claus, I said all that to say, Akim, Santa Claus is not real. Okay, Santa Claus is not real. He doesn't exist. Never has existed. There is no fat white man that's going to climb down your little poor Jamaican, poor black kids in Toronto. He's not climbing down your non-existent chimney to give you some damn toys and take your cookies and milk. Okay, that's a lie. Okay, when is the Negro, Latino, Native American going to wake up and smell the coffee and understand that these nations hate us, and therefore we shouldn't have any business in their holidays, man? No
Right.
business. Like, has any other nation changed their gods that do not profit? East Indians, they don't change their gods. That weed smoking god they got, Shiva, Krishna, they haven't changed their gods. Go try to get some beef in India. Your head will be in the Ganges River. Okay, can't get beef or milk for anything over there. They haven't changed their gods. But the Negro, Latino, Native American, we changed our gods. Santa Claus. Santa Claus. That's not what we celebrated, man. These aren't the gods we serve. Go ahead, Officer Darash.
Salagi, what you kind of reminded me, like, about, the milk and cookie thing. That's technically like leaving food out for an idol.
Yeah, that is what it is. It's a sacrifice to an idol. And guess what happens? Just like the food those idiots left the idols during the biblical era, nothing happened to the goddamn cookies because there is no fat Santa Claus. Or just like, remember in Bell and the Dragon? In Bell and the Dragon, they're like, we're leaving it to the gods.
Right.
What's happening? The priests were sneaking out at night eating it. And that's what your damn lying mom and dad are doing. They're sneaking out and eating your cookies and milk. They're dipping the cookies and milk at night. Some of the kids, they catch their parents and it traumatizes them.
Right.
Children are highly impressionable, man. I don't have to lie to my kids about Passover. It happened.
Right.
Through faith, Trooper Shari one. Through faith, I believe the Egyptians were put to death. I wasn't there. There was no GoPro. Moses didn't have a GoPro on his head. Say, look, there are them MFers. They drown in the Red Sea right now. Look at it. He's zoomed in. Drowning and all that. We didn't have to use scuba gear. You can't go and you might be able to go and find their remains. You couldn't, see it in real time. They weren't streaming it, with their iPhones. But through faith, we know that happened. Belief, and we act on that belief. You act on that belief by coming into this class. I had to answer the door again. Salaki Aki. Officer Adia, go ahead.
And just like what Officer Abundant is dropping is so heavy, man. You understand? When we look at it, man, we should not celebrate Christmas, man. Understand? We should not celebrate Christmas. Matter of fact, to come back to what I was saying earlier, somebody bring me to Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. You understand? Let's do it for the kids, right? Let's see what the Bible says. Who got the verse? Let's get it quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Train up a child in the way he should go. And when
Wait, do what, Trooper? You're right.
Train up a child in the way he should go. And
leave the milk and cookies on the table.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
All right. To water warrior. I'll pass the class back to Officer Aban.
Water. You want to train him up in the way that he should go. He shouldn't be going around lying. You shouldn't tell him things that are not true. They're lies. It's not a lie. It's fruitless. Okay? You're not withholding anything from him to help him. You will be helping him by telling him to not celebrate Christmas. Christmas is one of the most unhappy times, one of the unhappiest times of the year. Highest rates of suicide, highest rates of domestic disputes, highest rates of homicide, property crime, theft, etc. going on during Christmas. Everybody's got to satisfy and please themselves or someone that doesn't deserve pleasing, man. And it's a demon. Take me back to Jeremiah 2 and 11.
So again,
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 11.
Come on.
But my people have changed their glory to that which doth not profit.
They changed their glory to that which doth not profit.
Oh, you
we went to gods that do not profit. Like I said, Christmas has, and I was making a joke. Santa Claus never paid anybody's rent. He's supposedly better than Amazon. Can't find any of the missing and murdered indigenous women. These guys have no profit. But if we turn to the Most High, our sisters wouldn't be going missing by the thousands, man, because they would know to not trust and get with the devil. Meanwhile, dislike and call the Negroes Africans. I'm getting called. I'm going to Native American groups. I'm getting called African. They don't call that devil in that pickup truck African in Alberta, though. He don't never get called, oh, you're a Caucasian, and shut the door. That never happens. in that truck, trusting him or what have you, in cases where it's someone that they knew, trusted him and getting put to death. Okay? Do not give your daughter to a devil. Don't ever do that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And the so-called Native Americans need the ISUPK. So the interviews that we don't bring the Bible in here, don't do this, don't do that. Come on, man. Scriptures say this: to lay up your folly ground. Okay, they'll get it. They'll get it in due time. We'll have the First Nations. We'll have First Nations everywhere. We'll have fry bread in every class, Officer Duraj. It'll be nothing but fry bread. Some other things they like that fry bread, the corn, the beans, that soup. Okay, those baked beans they got, all that will be in the school. Venison, all that will be in the school in the ISUPK. Okay, they like the tribe of Judah, like every tribe needs to lay up their folly ground. Put that nonsense away, man. The two boats in the canoes. You take your canoe one way, I'm take my canoe one way. If we brothers, and I see a devil, I see somebody cutting your head off in a canoe. When am I just gonna go? Oh, I believe in the Bible. You don't believe in it. He selling your daughter off to some rapist. I'm just gonna sit in my canoe, Officer DeRoss. Remember they told us that? I'm gonna sit in my canoe and keep rowing. Hell no. I'm gonna row my canoe over there because that's what Christ would do, man. That's what Christ commanded us to do. I'm rowing my canoe and I'm pulling your simple ass out of it. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do with the tribe of Gad in Canada. All that nonsense about no Bible, but yet there's still a Christmas tree in the Six Nations Reserve. I guarantee it.
Right.
I put $500 on no Bible. There is Christmas. There is Christianity. They don't want so the truth isn't allowed. The Christianity is. They do accept religion on those reservations. I'm trying to help all the Akim out. I've been asked questions about them not accepting the Bible and stuff like that. That's not true. They accept Christianity, but they don't want to hear what someone else has to say that is not telling them to do something that they want to do. That's commonly what it is. And we have these classes where we're telling our brothers, put down the folly, man. Coming to the truth. Go ahead, Officer Duraj.
I was just gonna say, like, for that specific reserve, when they're like, well, you can't read that verse on our property, yet they were cooking bacon and eggs for the people when, on the little huts or whatever. And I was like, what the heck? Like, come on.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just ignorant. All right, without the truth, right now. Okay, but you all were a light to them. I appreciate you all for going on. You were a light to them, and be a light to them again. And Trooper Charlie went up there in northern Ontario with those brothers and sisters up there. All right, so drop that. Take me to Who else do I want? I want Jeremiah 1, Jeremiah 10 and 1. I'm sorry. I want the big one on Christmas.
So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10,
One
verse
second.
1.
One second. I'm reading on the article. All right. The evergreen tree was a symbol of the essence of life and was regarded as a phallic symbol in fertility worship. It's a rod, so it's symbolizing the male member. Okay. Witches and other pagans regarded the red holly as a symbol of the menstrual blood of the Queen of Heaven, also known as Diana. So the red, to them, to the original makers of the concepts of Christmas, it was menstrual blood of a goddess. Okay, the berries of the mistletoe were believed by pagans to represent droplets of the semen of the sun god. So they believe you stood under the mistletoe, the droplets of the semen would get on you and you would magically become more fertile. The mistletoe, if you take mistletoe, you boil it down, you drink it, it would make a concoction similar to Molly or to ecstasy. So if you give it to a woman, that's that. You get the point. Okay, you know what people in the world give Molly, ecstasy, those sorts of drugs to women, have sex with them. And so what was happening was they were boiling this mistletoe, drinking it, and they were having wild sex all night. It's a disgusting holiday. They attributed the mistletoe to fertility when in reality, it's just something that gets you high when you boil it and drink it. Okay? And you're standing under the mistletoe, you're kissing it. So you believe that because you kiss someone under the mistletoe, your relationship will be better. That's another thing that we took on that does not profit us. Marriage rate in Canada is horrible. 50% of marriages end in the first damn year. Don't even tell me about all the casual sex that's being had, all the hit it and quit it that's being had. Why? Because these fools believe in a damn mistletoe. Going underneath the mistletoe, kissing it, and their relationship will magically be better. That's not how life works, man. You can't gun under a mistletoe to resolve the problems with you and your woman. You need help. You need counsel. You need to apply the truth with your woman, and you need to rule over her, man. That's how you keep your relationship together. And you deal with her accordingly. Every woman is different. You get my point? But you need the specific recipe. You're not going to be thinking like that if you're somebody that goes under a mistletoe and kisses some whore you just met December 25th. You don't have a concept of relationships. It is a God that does not profit. That's what Santa Claus, the mistletoe, all those things celebrate. Those things commemorize or what have you. All right? Bear with me one second. Both holly and mistletoe were hung in doorways of temples and homes to invoke the powers of fertility to those that stood beneath and kissed, causing the spirits of the god and goddess to enter them. That's why people kiss under the mistletoe. Worship of the gods of fertility. Okay? Bear with me one second. That's it on that. Do you know Christ was born during the springtime? Oh, that's a lie. It's satanic. Jeremiah 10:1 on the tree. All right, read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Read it again.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Hear the word which the Lord speaks unto you, O house of Israel. The Lord's talking to us, man. The Lord gave us his record. This makes us better fathers, better husbands, better wives, better mothers, better sisters, better brothers. He gave it to us. Read on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. What is the way of the heathen? Getting high. Celebrating Christmas is the way of the heathen. It's not in the Bible. To celebrate birthdays. Get me that, Tripper Urod. Get me Genesis 40 and 20. Genesis chapter 40, verse 20 on birthdays. That's another big one. Mostly these battles will happen with your woman about that birthday. Okay? And the woman likes to be worshipped like you. She needs it. She needs to be desired. That's why Instagram's the way that it is. Why Facebook's the way that it is. It's been that way since Eve. The desire to have power over men. Okay? It's been a problem since Eve. All right? Learn how to keep reading to the chart.
And be not dismayed at the signs of the heaven.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Okay? The signs of heaven, the stars. I'm this sign. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Leo. Solar eclipse. The minute a solar eclipse happens, every fake Israelite group in Canada is going to have 3D goggles looking up at the sky like Christ is returning. Okay? Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Meteor showers, asteroids, solar eclipses. Don't worry about any of that nonsense. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
The heathen, they're dismayed at them. Go ahead.
For the customs of the people are vain.
And we said the customs of the people are vain. This little shindig called Christmas is a waste of damn time to me. It doesn't stop the gun violence. Remember all that talk about stop the gun violence in Jane and Finch? Christmas isn't going to do a damn thing to stop it. In fact, Christmas is going to help crime. Because all across Jane and Finch, silly West Indian brothers are going to go stick a gun in somebody's temple to get some toys for some damn evil broad that's going to sleep with somebody else tomorrow. Going to have a new boyfriend by Valentine's Day. The next Negro to hand her the first Negro to hand her chocolates and flowers on Valentine's Day that's not you, she's getting the box. Okay, like Microsoft. Okay, that's what's going on. But they'll go rob and steal all across Regent Park, all across Canada to satisfy some witch. Okay, some monster. We go after things that don't profit. Customs of the people are vain. Sorry, one.
Because one cutteth the tree out of the forest.
One cutteth the what?
One cutteth the tree out of the forest.
It can't get more than that. The customs of the people are vain. For what? For this custom, one cutteth a tree out of the forest. What's going on all across Canada? Evergreen trees cut down everywhere. They got that stinky fungus and disease filled, that little decrepit tree they put in Rockefeller Center. I laughed at the damn screen. They got the nastiest, slimmest, Betty White looking tree they could find in the state of New York. Why? because God canceled Christmas. Christmas is canceled. Thank the Most High. Okay, canceling, shutting down Christmas. It's a vain holiday. One cutteth the tree out of the forest. Read on.
Come. The work of the hands of the workmen.
The work of
With
the
the
hands
axe.
of the workman with the axe. Okay? With the axe. Cuts it down with the axe. That's what's going on all the time during Christmas. God, the Most High, explicitly prohibits one of the main customs of Christmas, cutting down a tree. Let's see what else goes on during this custom. Read on.
Come. Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold.
They do what with it?
Deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it. Come on, man. What else do I need to do here? They deck it, deck the halls with bounds of holly, silver and gold, all tinsel all across that Christmas tree. They deck it. They deck what? They deck the tree. Don't you decorate the tree during Christmas? This worship of trees, which is done by idiots, is very, very old. Very, very, very old worship, just like the worship of the sun, of the stars, etc. Jeremiah is telling you, don't be afraid of stars, brother. Don't be afraid. Don't be like these other people. Don't be afraid of trees. Imagine that, you grown man afraid of an evergreen tree. Think somebody's going to pop out of there and come kill you, when in reality, Semiramis, Nimrod's wife / mother, his wife was his mother, okay? His wife / mother just sent an army to come cut your head off and put it on the table in Babylon. That's all it happened. Okay? Your parents tell you Santa Claus is real. In reality, they're downstairs at 2 a.m. eating milk and cookies, talking to each other, and putting the gifts, getting the gifts ready.
God.
It's an absolute lie. Christmas. Okay? A decade with silver and gold. Read on.
Come. They fasten it with nails.
Come on, man. That goes on in every living room in Canada, except for the rooms of the ISUPK, living rooms of the ISUPK. Okay?
Right.
They fasten it with
Right.
nails. Ding, ding, ding. Come on, kids. Let's put a goddamn tree in the house. Ding, 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 ding. Trees go outside. I hope you know that. Okay? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. That's another thing that happens too. Those houses, these apartments, are going to get lit on fire as well. The police. I feel bad for the police and the Toronto Fire Department. They should get a good strong shot of Gentleman Jack when they're done cleaning all the bodies, the burnt and charred bodies out of these hideous houses in Toronto. When that stinking tree catches on fire, with all that electricity wrapped around it.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I literally seen like a post on Facebook the other day. Some sister was talking about my charger. It just blew up and turned on fire, right? And when you look in the background of the picture, what's there? A Christmas tree.
That Christmas tree. Nobody's ever seen the God that can't handle all those stinking lights. It's not how that works in Regent Park. These are little huts that we're in. You can't put all that power in there, sister. Mostly, I hope it's mostly sisters. I hope brothers aren't that. Let me rig this house to look like goddamn Times Square, December 25th, and then it catches fire. That's another thing that's going to happen as well. The customs of the people are worthless. They're vain. Go ahead, Officer Daraj.
Salaki, I was just gonna say, like, what you're saying is heavy. How is that not a fire hazard? That should be illegal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, every other day it's illegal.
Right.
You can't do stuff like that. But December 25th, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can rig your house up to look like a nightclub, okay, and watch it catch fire. Those Toronto police, the Toronto Fire Department, about to get good set of overtime. And Montreal too. Clean up these houses in French. Guys gonna be running out there like smelling like with the damn Victorian era shirts. They'll have a works in Canada. In Montreal, they probably tiptoe in mime suits. They mime their way in because they can't see with the smoke. Okay, they gotta find their way in to get you. Okay, that's what's gonna happen, brothers and sisters. Full equipment, customs of the people are vain. One cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen. Okay? They fasten it with nails. Keep reading. Trooper Shari 1.
And with hammers that it move not.
That it move not. Read on.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree.
They're upright as a palm tree. This is twofold. One, the upright as a palm tree is literal, meaning you fasten them with nails. They stand straight up like a palm tree. What else do you think of when you think of palm trees? Who knows?
Slocky. They wave in the wind.
Wave. Tree rod.
Oh, what comes to mind, sir? I'm thinking statues, but probably not. Huh? That's not
Bigger. I can't hear you. What did you say, Al?
It's like it's statues.
Statues. Okay, palm trees are associated with beauty. That's what they're associated with. Upright as the palm tree.
Okay.
Don't you go to places where there are palm trees? No, I do. I'd like to. I'd like to know where there's palm trees right now, but can't do it. But it's on my mind. Same thing. You go travel, see these palm trees because they're beautiful. They're glorious. You get my point? People travel far and wide to go see a Christmas tree. Upright as the palm tree is beautiful, glorious. People come all over the provinces of Canada to go into auntie's house, grandma's house, grandpa's house to go see the stupid tree in the living room. Okay? Upright as the palm tree. Read on.
But speak not.
They don't speak. Doesn't talk. Doesn't counsel you. Doesn't give you advice. They don't speak. It doesn't teach class. We don't.
They must need be born.
You can carry it. This is something you worshiping this God, but you have to carry it into the house. You have to nail it down. You don't have to carry God into your house. Come on, help my grandma with her gout. Help me make this sorrel. That's not how the Most High works. He said, "Earth is my throne, heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool." You can't build a house for me, but your God light it on fire. God of Christmas. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Okay? And that Christmas tree is absolutely the centerpiece of that worship. Go ahead.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them. Don't be afraid of a Christmas tree. Don't put a Christmas tree in your house. Now, some people in the world, you're in an apartment, other people are in there, they put a Christmas tree in there. That'll be their problem. Okay? To deal with what they're going to deal with this Christmas. That'll be their problem. All right? But you don't have the Christmas tree in your house. Okay? If it be, if right. You can. If you're not on it or you joint with somebody else and they bring a Christmas tree in, let them do it. Let them bring the tree in, for God's sake. It's just a tree. Okay? Whatever happens to them, what is going to happen to them because of that is going to be on them. That's all. And it's going to be because of that. God hates Christmas. Absolutely despises it. Go ahead, Officer Daraj. Please.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 10. But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver to show art, and the resemblance of beast or stone, good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand.
Absolutely, it's a joke. It's work. It's good for nothing. The work of an ancient hand. He's been doing this for a long time. Are you in Wisdom of Solomon 14?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 10.
Okay, go to 14 and 20.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 20. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored as a man.
1 second. Give me 1 second. Go to verse. So they took him for a god, which before time was but honored. That's just Christmas, man. Christmas at one time was a holiday people did, occasionally, not occasionally, but a small group of Japhites did, small group of Egyptians did, etc. It was all those concepts brought together and were put in what is now called Christmas. Christmas is the amalgamation, the worship of the Yule log, Saturnalia, and Mithras. Mithras was the worship of the sun. Okay?
Right.
Get down to verse 24.
Khan. They kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled.
When they went to go serve God, they kept neither lives nor marriages altogether undefiled. What comes to Christmas? Having sex with another man's woman. You can just wait and hear the stories from people in the world, women in the world, and all this. I slept with him. I feel bad about it. Some of them will be calling over. I slept with him. I shouldn't have done that. What should I do? All day long. Why? Because in the worship of these other gods, that's where all this other stuff comes in. The problem in Canada with the so-called gun violence, black on black crime, is the worship of other gods.
Right.
One guy, he's a Muslim, so if you're not a Muslim, he can shoot you, he can sell you drugs, etc. One guy is a Christian, he believes Jesus knows his heart, and whatever he does is allowed, is sanctified, it is lawful. They didn't keep lives or marriages any longer undefiled with the worship of these gods. Go ahead, read on.
But either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery.
But either one slew another traitorously. Doesn't that go on all across Canada? One slew another traitorously. Killed a man that was your friend, had him killed, had him put to death, put a hit on some rapper, killed each other traitorously. Read on.
Khan. Verse 25. So that there reigned in all men without exception blood.
Nope, after traitorously.
Oh, Salakia. Or grieved him by adultery.
Or grieved him by adultery. I'll take your girl. I'll take your woman. You grieving a man if you're doing that.
Right.
Okay. Where does it come from? The worship of these other gods. Read on.
Verse 25. So that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, and unfaithfulness, tumults, and perjury.
You have tumults, fights, perjury, lying under oath, unfaithfulness. Just a lack of care of, a lack of care of your integrity. You came in here, you made an oath to the Most High, the one you call God. You said that you were going to do something, and what, you leave, you stop doing it? That's unfaithfulness, man. And that disgusting garbage comes from the worship of other gods. From the worship of other gods. You can't say, I'm going to serve the Most High here with these brothers and then leave and stop doing it. Imagine, here's how I take it. Imagine we're at war, and the enemy fight. One guy goes, you know what? F this, man. Throws his M16 down and leaves. We pen down, getting gunned down on all sides. You're going to look at him differently if you live through it. And that's the state we're in now. We're at war. On all sides, down by all nations, the cards are stacked against us. That's unfaithfulness, man. And that comes from the worship of other gods. Okay? Unfaithfulness. Let me look. Corruption. You don't need to teach this. The Catholic Church is corrupt. Rape someone on the streets of Toronto, you're going to prison. Rape someone in the Catholic Church, they'll move you to another parish. That's all they'll do.
Right.
They'll move you to another cathedral. Corruption. And the mayor of Toronto is liable to smoke crack with you. Okay? Corruption. Why? Because they worship white. And they'll go to Rexdale. Was it Rexdale? Yeah, they'll go to Rexdale and smoke crack with Mandem. Smoke crack with the Jamaicans. They laugh at you, take pictures of you. The damn mayor. Corruption. Where? From the worship of these other gods. He went to Sunday school, right? He observes the same God Trudeau observes, right? Like the truth needs to get pushed across the earth, man. And that's how all this nonsense was stopped in Toronto. All right? Manslaughter, killing, blood, shedding blood, and theft, stealing. Read verse 26, Officer Darash.
Khan, verse 26. Disquieting
Read it again.
disquieting of good men.
Disquieting of good men. Many good men have been disquieted by the Christian church. Men that would have otherwise been good, soldiers, stood strong for the Most High, and here were disquieted by that stinking Christian church. Now, they're soldiers. They think being soldiers for Satan is being better than being a soldier for the Most High. They're soldiers. They're brothers in Toronto that are soldiers, straight up soldiers. Love the block, love the people that they grew up with, and are willing to protect them with their lives. That's great. But because of the Christian church, they think they'll take that energy they have, that drive, they'll put it into destroying the people weaker than them, oppressing and abusing those that live in their own neighborhood or people from right across the block. Disquieting of good men. Okay? Damn church. The Christian church taught them to go, you gotta get money fast. They believe they got to be on some money grubbing, thieving hustle. That's a damn lie. The Christian church is at fault. All the gangs in Toronto. The Christian churches of Jamaica, the islands where these brothers, where their families come from, they're at fault. All of them. They didn't instruct them that it's not unlawful to be a soldier, man. There's nothing wrong with it. We're soldiers in here, first and foremost. Okay? But we are soldiers to protect our people. We're stronger than them. We understand things that they don't understand. We could take advantage of them. We don't. We don't. Any leader doesn't. That's why it says that in the Old Testament about Christ, that he gently led the woman with child. He's gentle. He was gentle to those that were weaker than he was. Okay? But he laid hands on you. That's for damn straight. He whipped the Sadducees out of that temple. All right? Go ahead, Officer Darash.
So, like, sir, if I may, I want
Say again?
So, like, sir, I said, if I may, I wanted to read a precept concerning what you just said about
Go ahead.
soldiers. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4, or it's like verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua.
Soldier of Yahushua, the one you call Jesus or Christ. How do you be a soldier? You can't be a soldier if you're not in an organization, in an organized group, in an army. ISUBK is the army of the Lord. If you don't believe that, we'll just wait and see. But to be a soldier,
Right,
in an army, you can't be a soldier reading the Bible on your own. You have to follow men, which is what you do in any army.
Right.
Last I checked. Follow generals,
Right.
captains, officers, like in any army.
Right.
We are soldiers, man. Soldiers for one you call Christ Yahushua. Okay, the prophets were not nice guys. All that nonsense with the Christian church and these are some man clean shaven man coming and swinging a censer. That's not what they did. When Samuel, when he rolled up to that town on horse, they were scared to death. They said, "What manner do you come in?" They knew what kind of man Samuel was. He was hardcore on the right hand side. Many brothers in the world in Toronto are hardcore on the left-hand side, soldiers for Satan and employees of white supremacy.
Right.
Okay? All brothers in gangs in Canada should come into put that lifestyle away and come into the IHUBK, man, before it's too late.
Right.
Okay? Read on. Where was I at? What scripture?
So, like, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 14. Let's go to verse 27. Matter of fact, 26. Keep reading from 26.
Khan. Wisdom. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter, Solomon said, "Do you want one of the troopers to read, or you want me to keep going?"
Trooper, you're right. You can go ahead and read.
Khan.
Officer Darash, have the announcements on deck, and we're saying the Lord's Prayer. All right.
Khan.
Water.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Disquieting of good men,
Mm-hmm.
forgetfulness of good terms, defiling.
Devil did some good turns. We don't remember. We don't know how to make a good turn, make a real change. Okay, in the Christian church. Go ahead.
Defiling of souls.
Defiling of souls, child molestation, which is all rampant in the Catholic Church, the worship of other gods, the Christian church, etc. Defiling of souls, man, in that whorehouse called the Christian church. Read on.
Changing of kind.
Doing what?
In marriages.
Changing of kind. What is that? I was born a man, but now I'm a woman. I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. Changing of kind. I'm a man, but I really like other men. That's changing of kind, Doc. Transsexuality, homosexuality, all these other sexual deviancies are changing of kind. This is the Bible. All these things we talk about: murder, defiling of souls, rape, child molestation, drug dealing, changing your gender, thinking you're a man in a woman's body, thinking you're a man but you're really attracted to men just like women. All of that comes from the worship of other gods. That's where it comes from. You weren't born like it. You weren't put in this situation to get money fast and hustle on the block. You're put in this situation to be punished by the Most High and to come out of it by coming into the truth. That's the only way it's going to stop. That's the only way it's going to stop. It's the only way our lives are going to be rectified, made better for ourselves and for our nation as a whole. Read on.
Disorder in marriages.
Disorder in marriage. Marriage is out of whack. Disorder starts in the beginning of marriage when you get down on one knee. Will you spend the rest of your life? Woman gets on her knees for me. That doesn't work the other way around. That's how that works. Okay. No man should be on his knees to a damn woman with a ring in his hand. Okay.
Right.
That's not how it works. That's flipping the marriage upside down from the jump. Okay. Yeah, that's disorder in marriage from the jump. The woman is to please you. You're the catch. Okay, and there's no 50-50 in anything. Of course, you have tasks. Each person will have tasks or what have you. That's between you and your woman. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you never need to cower down to a woman or get down on your knees and hand her some stinking ring from the devil and get some piece of paper to give you authority to have sex with your woman.
Right.
We don't stop you from marrying in here, okay? Because it's biblical.
Right.
All right? Disorder in marriage is the woman, the man, he just, he laying around smoking weed all day and running the streets, and she's running a job with 2 and 3 kids. Now, there's nothing wrong with a man not having a job if he doesn't have a job. But running the street life, here's another one, trying to be a damn rapper. That's another problem in Toronto as well. There's too many damn rappers. The rap is not that great. Okay? Not that great. It's too many of you in such a small area in these little neighborhoods. You can stop doing that. All right? Come into the school. Okay? What I'm not saying is, oh, you're lazy bum because you don't have a job. You're not employed by the devil. What I am saying is you don't want to have a woman maintain you because that'll make disorder in marriages. How did she maintain you? She's making all the decisions. She's strengthening you up. She's, come on, patting you on the damn back, and you're the weak one. You get my point? That has nothing to do with money. You're to be the strong one. You're to give her protection, guidance, and reassurance. And if a woman has to do that, she'll get weary and tired of you. That's in the Bible. Disorder of marriages comes from the Christian church. The Christian church, most people get married in a church, and most people are divorced within 1 year of marriage, 1 to 2 years. Go look it up. Right. Half of marriages end in the first year. Keep reading.
Adultery.
Adultery, go ahead.
And
having sex with other men's women going out having sex with other men. Read on.
Adultery and shameless uncleanness.
Shameless uncleanness. Twerking in a damn restaurant in Dallas. Put a hand to that brother to check those bras in that damn restaurant in Dallas. Let me tell you something else as well. The Christian church in this world has told you to not check women and talk to women that way. That was absolutely right what he did, man. To check them. That's what they need. They haven't heard that ever from a man. Never heard a man talk to them like that.
Right.
We have to protect these queens, etc. And so they believe because they're a black woman and everyone's against them, that they can go and act and do whatever in the hell they want when they feel like it. That's not how life works, sister. That's not how life works. Shameless uncleanness, twerking and OnlyFans, all this other nonsense. Okay? That comes from the Christian church. Being a pedophile, being a sexual deviant. shameless uncleanness comes from the worship of other gods. Read on.
27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. That's where it all comes from, the worship of these gods. Do not celebrate Christmas as the worship of another god. Your marriage will fail. The woman will cheat on you, quote unquote, and will have sex with another man. It is going to aid in the death, destruction, and murder in our communities. Okay? It's going to aid in everything terrible. Why? Because we just read all things evil. I'm loosely paraphrasing. Give me 1 second. The beginning, cause, and end of all evils from the worship of idols. Give me 1 second. That drug dealer, cross around his neck. Murderer, shooter in the block, cross around his neck. All these gangs, crosses around their neck. Devout Christians, whatever Christian denomination is big in the West Indies, that's what they are. Or Haiti, that's what they are. Okay? And that's where all this evil comes from. That's why we're as adamant, we're as heavy as we are on the Christian church. It is the house of Satan. Christmas is a damn lie. Christ was not born December 25th. Christ was born during the springtime. Christmas is the worship of the sun, Mithras. I'm gonna kick Santa in the teeth next week. Okay, with a breakdown on Santa Claus and that stinking sleigh and those reindeer. Okay, Santa Claus is the High Germanic god. He's Odin, Odin. Odin's Day or Wednesday is named after the god Odin. That is literally what Santa Claus is. We're gonna talk about the real Saint Nick. There was a real black man in Turkey, a Judite in Turkey during 400s who was helping the poor. He was a brother that was giving alms, that was
Right.
distributing to the poor. Santa Claus is based off a real man, once as usual, a black man who was helping the poor in his land, the poor of the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire was headed by Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the so-called Negroes. Constantine, all those brothers were so-called Negroes today, West Indian, Haitian, or American. Okay. St. Nicholas was one of them. All right. We'll get into that next week. We're going to Santa Claus, the sleigh, the reindeer, and the real St. Nicholas next week, who's a black man. All right. With that being said, I passed the flash. As a matter of fact, we got a new sister in the building. We got to do it. Cherry One, Super Cherry One. Super Cherry One.
So like I think it's lagging, sir.
It's like yes, sir. It's lagging a bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Con, sir.
Trooper Shire One is Rib, got her Hebrew name. All right, Most High in Christ, we can clap it up for her. There is me 1 second. Hold on. All right. Her name will no longer be what it was in the world. Your Rib's name is now Nawah. We both agreed on that. Nawah. That's in the Strong's number H5116. Nawah, which means comely dwelling. All right. Sister's an excellent sister. Overcame, like all of us did. And this is her standard from here on out. To be a comely dwelling, to be a place of rest for a man going through so much stress and hell in this place. Okay. That man being you, of course, the honorable Trooper Shari One. All right. Nawah is her name, means comely dwelling or comfort. Okay, this precept is Jeremiah 6:2. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. All right, Lord allow that's what this sister will be in the truth. I appreciate your work with her.
Right.
All right, give him a hand. All right, so it's now made official. She can change her name. Nawah. Nawah is her name. All right, congratulations, sister. All right, 2 troopers got officers test. Trooper Urad, Trooper Achari 1, you got your officers test. They'll be testing for it. Lord, if they're found worthy, all right, to become fully fledged priests and prophets in this school, they'll be given an opportunity to take their officers test. All right, well, everybody will watch. Yourself worthy. These ranks will continue to grow. Until I walk. Right. All right, so with that being said, I pass the pass over to Priest Officer Garage. Pop it up.
All right. right, this is the ISUBK security announcements. We are the ISUBK, starting at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother will court the sister. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny or of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the department or teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of HaKanukah, Wednesday, December 9th, 2020 for 8 days. That can be found in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. All right. For any updates, visit isubk.com or check with Officer Aban, the camp leader for Canada. Salak, Officer Aban, would you like to announce any of your classes for Brazil or Rochester?
No, not here. I appreciate it though.
Oh, so okay, Salak.
Let's keep it Canada. All right, so you can announce the classes. You can announce the classes for Canada.
Okay, come on. Salak, Officer Adiyar, would you like to announce your classes for Canada?
Yeah.
And not to forget for everybody in Montreal that speak French, classes in French in ISUPK Quebec YouTube. Come and check us out. We're on Monday. We have a series where we Israel only starts 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And on Wednesday we have the law class in French, of course, that start from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And not to forget also for every Levite, every Asians out there, we have classes in Creole on Sunday on ISUPK IET on Sunday from 7 p.m. Come and check out, man. We the home of the truth.
Okay.
So what out of one?
Canada classes, Officer Darash.
Salaki, sir. And then for ISUPK, No Cowards Canada, you can catch the Brotherhood class every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. taught by myself, Officer Darash. Wednesday is the law class taught by myself from 7 to 9 p.m. And then the Lashawan Kadash class every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. taught by myself. And then, of course, we have the Sabbath service done by Officer 50 Zabadia. All right, that's every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. All right. With that being said, men of Israel, Imadim, which means to stand.
I'm gonna play.
Men of Israel, Hakadam, which means turn and face the east. All right, we're gonna do the Lord's Prayer in the Lashawan.
Oh my goodness.
Lakam, Shemai, the Wab, Wasalat now, Wasalat now, Salak now, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Thy kingdom come,
Kingdom come,
thy will be done.
thy will be done.
Thy kingdom come.
As it is in heaven.
Thy will be done
Give us this
in
day
earth as it is in heaven.
And forgive
Give us
us
this day
our debts,
bread,
as we forgive our debtors.
and forgive us our
And
debts,
lead us not
not
into
temptation,
temptation,
and
but
lead us
deliver
not
Deliver us
into temptation,
from evil.
and deliver us from evil.
and the power
And the glory.
ever.
So be it.
And the glory.
Amen.
And it's a bit.
All right, men of Israel, we're going to do a salute, right? So men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yah, all right, we're going to do a courtesy salute to the sisters. All right, men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh, class dismissed.
One quick thing, you always have, if we had an actual class, sisters would repeat after you. You would say it. You say the salute, and then they would say, you help them out, Yahweh, Shamar, Alepha, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. All right, that's generally how we do it in the class. And then also, at the end of the prayer, you say, so be it. That's what Amun means. Amen. Amun, the Hebrew. That's what so be it means. You don't have to read the Amun in parentheses. In English. All right, Thought I can. Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
Shalom.